The Edge at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, a deer dilemma in Farmington Hills.
Yeah, the city becoming overrun with bucks and does and now forced to figure out how to respond. Fox 2's Dave Kinchin explains.
To let an overpopulation of deer live or die? That's the question in Farmington Hills.
We know that people are feeding the deer. You all said that during the last session. That means that those people love the deer, right? They do not want them to be killed.
By managing deer, we're talking lethal removal through either culling operations or legal regulated hunting.
Farmington Hills residents and city officials grappling with the issue after hearing from experts on how to handle the growing problem of too many deer, blamed for an increasing number of car deer crashes, eating up gardens and pricey trees, and if nothing else, hanging around on private property without paying rent. Fox 2 brought you the story of one deer getting stuck in a backyard pool owned by a Farmington Hills resident, and some city council members have had their own struggles.
I now have anywhere from 9 to 12 deer in my yard every single day of the week, numerous times a day. I have to be careful where I walk because of all the deer droppings.
There were nearly 58,000 car deer crashes across Michigan in 2023, and more than 2,100 of them were in Oakland County, according to the Transportation Improvement Authority. In Farmington Hills, there were 144 reported crashes involving deer that year, an 18% increase over 2022.
The combination of hunting and a call is what we propose.
And if Farmington Hills City Council approves the plan, Deputy Director for Special Services Brian Farmer says the organized hunts will let residents get involved the right way with safety top of mind.
Highly organized hunts, not just sending people out in orange and walking through the streets. They're really going to be in specific locations, and whether it be private land or parks, so it'll be regulated. We'll know who's doing it, we'll know how many people, and they'll be having to go through shooting tests to be able to show that they can shoot a bow or a crossbow, no guns.
That and work with the U.S. Department of Agriculture to determine safe locations for the calls. And as it stands right now, part of that plan would be to use that harvested deer as food and donate it to CARES in Farmington Hills, the food pantry here in Farmington Hills that's seen an increase in food insecurity amongst many families, not just in Farmington Hills, but in the surrounding area. But Mayor Teresa Rich stresses that they haven't made any decisions as of yet. The City Council will take up this resolution on April 28th. In Farmington Hills, Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
Well, it was quite the blustery day, and the chilly breeze continues tomorrow.
Yeah, Weather Authority Rich Luderman joins us with a look ahead. Rich.
I can't even look.
I know,
I can't even look. Oh, there we go. Yeah, last week we had numbers in the 70s. Now it's a much colder pattern. You can see why. Low pressure is spinning up over the northern lakes. And yes, there are pockets of snow to our north. We did have some wet snow here yesterday evening. We had some flurries this morning. But thankfully, it's a quiet pattern for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We will see some breaks of sunshine over the next few days, but no big warm-up to show you in the forecast. Chilly pattern continues, mainly dry through Thursday. Now, the weekend, it will be milder, but then the rain chances go up as well. Live pictures again at the Mackinac Bridge. Not a lot of action there, but that is snow on the driving surface. That looks cold at 30 degrees. We did top out at 44. That was before sunrise. 35 is the current reading. Here are your averages. Look at the records. 81 on the high side, 2 above on the cold side. Right now, a lot of us have numbers in the middle 30s. There's that breeze. It continues, but not as gusty as what we had this afternoon. Look at this, wind chill values tonight. Some of us in the middle 20s out there. Cold around Ludington, especially Marquette, 43 in Chicago. Chilly out east, Buffalo, New York, 36 degrees. That's where we are. As low pressure retreats back into eastern Canada, it takes the coldest of the air with it, but it is going to be chilly for Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, we're going to start to turn the corner. Brisk and cool tonight down to 31. Tomorrow with breaks of sunshine, breezy, cool again Tuesday, a high of 47. And then the full 7 days shows milder weather for the end of the week. Rain chances go up, especially Saturday and Sunday. No all-day rains expected, but it will be unsettled. Rupe and Amy, another check at 4 a.m.
Thank you, Rich. Well, it is a tragedy we've been covering for 2 years. A young man dies while detained by bouncers at a Port Huron bar.
And Amy, tonight his family remains on a mission to hold security personnel accountable. Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack explains.
Joshua Conan's family says he was held by bouncers for 6 minutes and died right there outside a bar in Port Huron back in 2023. In their eyes, this all could have been prevented with better training.
Let's hear it again. Put your hands together. Yes.
You don't see it often. When you hear clapping like this at any council meeting, it must be worth it.
Councilmember Mosrek?
Yes.
The Port Huron City Council voting life into a new ordinance in honor of 26-year-old Joshua Conan to better train security personnel, especially at bars. We've been covering Josh's tragic death since 2023. He apparently intervened at a fight at the Roach Bar in Port Huron. Bouncers zeroed in on Josh. His uncle picks it up from here.
The next thing you know, a couple minutes later, they're on Josh, and they held Josh to the ground from the Michigan State Police report over 6 minutes on top of him.
He died on scene. The case, specifically the bouncer's actions that night, was escalated to the Attorney General's office for review, but ultimately no charges filed.
I just want to say that nobody loves him more than me.
Josh's mother, Sandy Schultz, and the rest of the family reportedly disheartened that no criminal charges were filed, but taking on a new battle recently in his honor, establishing training standards for security guards and bouncers, plus force a background check to be done on them.
I will never live with the way that Joshua, or be able to accept the way that my son Joshua passed on to heaven. So thank you for this.
The council plus the mayor of Port Huron unanimously voted it in. Now part of the training for security personnel will include de-escalation training, and they have to learn safe restraint techniques along with CPR. A victory for this mom.
But I also lost a son 24 years ago to leukemia, Josh's twin brother. So no mother should have to live through 2 deaths of her children.
As a reminder, that ordinance that was voted into effect is specific to Port Huron. Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
Well, a Michigan couple living a nightmare after being held in a Mexican jail over a timeshare dispute.
Yeah, the two have been lodged in a maximum security prison in Cancun over alleged wrongful credit card charges. Paul and Christy Akeo were members with the Palace Resorts. It's a Florida-based company that owns resorts and timeshares in Mexico. Their daughter, Lindsay Lemke, says they were arrested when their plane landed in Cancun 21 days ago.
We need help from our government. We need them to realize there are 2 innocent Americans being held hostage in a Mexican prison over a timeshare dispute. And by them not acting and doing anything about it, they are allowing Mexico to do that.
The Akeos will remain in the Mexican jail, we are told, for 6 more months minimum, while the timeshare company gathers more evidence. No trial date has been set.
Well, a Detroit man is behind bars after crashing into a house during a police chase early Saturday morning.
The suspect allegedly broke into a pot shop moments before, and when officers tried conducting a traffic stop, well, things took a turn. Fox 2's Tanisha Cordell with the latest.
We showed you the aftermath of a Chevy Silverado crashing into this home on Ewald Circle in Detroit.
When I pulled up, the whole truck was inside the house.
It happened just before 2 a.m. on Saturday. Warren police saying this man, 29-year-old Dejon Tyree, was behind the wheel. And moments before the crash, Tyree caught on dash cam video speeding in that stolen Chevy Silverado being chased by officers on 696 heading for Detroit.
Our officers were behind him in a fully marked patrol car, activated the lights and sirens. As you can see on the video, Mr. Tyree is kind of coming to a T-type intersection and loses control and strikes the dwelling, which was unoccupied. Definitely a unique ending, but of course we're glad that nobody got hurt due to Mr. Tyree's actions.
Lieutenant John Gajewski says officers first spotted Tyree near DeQuinder. It's just 2 or 3 miles away from this weed-growing business just south of 14 Mile. He says it's where Tyree broke in and stole product, which, by the way, was found inside Tyree's stolen Chevy truck.
So, the business owner in this case was very forthcoming with the police. They were prompt to respond to the scene and were able to tell us what was stolen.
Tyree was arrested after the chase, and Warren police standing by their choice to pursue, considering the need to apprehend and public safety.
This is somebody who has just committed a serious offense, and based on his previous track record, it's likely he would continue to commit serious offenses. I think most reasonable people in the community go, this is somebody that the police shouldn't just let go if he drives away.
Well, police telling us Tyree was a fugitive, violating parole when he was arrested on Saturday. They say his rap sheet pretty hefty, including an armed robbery and other car thefts. He faces 7 new charges. His bond set at $100,000. He's back in court next month. I'm Tanisha Cordell reporting on The Edge.
Take you out to St. Clair Shores. Police there searching for an apparent porch pirate. You're looking at video here, accused in 2 separate package thefts. Home security video shows the incidents from last Thursday in the area of Jefferson and Martyr Streets. Police say the suspect was driving a gray Ford Bronco with a spare tire on the back. The package thefts appear to have happened around 4 p.m. Contact St. Clair Shores Police if you have any information.
And the suspected Corwell Beaumont Troy hospital shooter was arraigned in court over the weekend and denied bond. 21-year-old Robert Peljusevec is accused of shooting a co-worker in the hospital's parking deck. Prosecutors say he and the victim were friends but fell out after the victim's father died, and the defendant was excluded from a private viewing held by the family. He's facing charges including felony assault with intent to murder, felony firearm, and carrying a concealed weapon charges.
A former University of Michigan football coach accused of identity theft and computer crimes has been arraigned in federal court. 42-year-old Matthew Weiss, a former co-offensive coordinator, pleaded not guilty to all 24 counts. He's charged with unauthorized computer access and identity theft. Now 2 former female student athletes are suing Weiss in federal court, claiming their privacy was violated. Weiss was released on a $10,000 unsecured bond. He faces up to 5 years in each computer charge and 2 years on each identity theft charge if convicted.
Woke my daughter up and put her shoes on, put her jacket on, and just was ready to rush out.
On Detroit's east side, frightening moments this morning as fire ripped through an apartment building. Flames broke out around 5 a.m. at the Eastland Court Apartments. That's off Cadju. Flames engulfed the building, which neighbors say had a number of issues. The cause remains unclear, but those who live in the area believe squatting may have played a role.
Stay warm. They're just trying to stay warm. That's how the fire started. It shouldn't look like this right here. Casual 94 was a nice area. You got kids that walk to school through here. You should want your kids to walk past this.
Now, the city says despite rumors, the building had not been shut down, but the owner had attempted to board up parts of the building that were vacant. No one was injured.